we have a very special guest on the phone.
We do, and just got more special because I've had the privilege of having a 3-minute conversation with her.
Well, that will make her feel very special.
I reckon it does.
Her name is Larissa Watt, and she is representing an event called the Spring Fling for Farmers. And that's how we know that we're sober, because we can actually say Spring Fling for Farmers without stumbling. Good morning, Larissa.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Hey, Larissa, you tell Neil why I'm special.
Well, that's an open-ended question, isn't it?
You are the only person I've ever told where I'm from and has been there and actually knew where it was.
Where is it? What's the name of the place?
It's called Marupana.
Okay, just across the Broken River from Shepparton on the way out towards Stanhope then.
Yeah, over that way, yeah.
Well, that makes two of us that have visited Marupana.
Well, you know, because I told you the other day.
No, I didn't know Marupana. I know Marupana. I didn't know that you were from Marupana. That's where the SPC Ardmona factory used to be. You used to go and get all the tins of fruit.
Yeah, not quite. Marupana. Yeah, I was from Kumbuna.
Oh, now okay, Marupana. Yeah, I don't know Kimbuna. No, sorry.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful part of the world where you're from, but you're not from there no more because you're now on the equally beautiful Bellarine Peninsula, and there's something going around in your blood, I reckon, that it's spurred you to be in the position to have this conversation with you. And being an agricultural person, I'm quite excited about it as well. Tell us what's going on in your world.
Well, I'm actually a naturopath and a strength and conditioning coach, and we have a facility here in Drysdale on the Bellarine Peninsula. And we're becoming more and more aware in consulting people about food and being more connected to where your food comes from, that the farmers who produce that food for us as a community, they're really struggling at the moment. And when I looked further into it, made some phone calls to some organisations and got my finger on the pulse a little bit more, I discovered that our farmers, particularly the dairy farmers, are having a tough time at the moment. The meat producers secondary to that, because we're in green drought. Did you guys know that?
I certainly do. Neil probably wouldn't, being a scientist.
Right, so I'm the idiot here. Is that what we're saying?
No. I did not call you an idiot, Neil.
I know what a green drought is. We haven't had sufficient rain, yet if you drive through it looks green because we've had some.
Oh.
Yes.
Good boy. Well done.
It isn't growing high enough for our ruminant animals to eat it and be nutritionally sound from it. So...
Yeah, I tell you what, I was very impressed with, just before we divert you off, because I think I warned you that we wouldn't necessarily stay on topic. How well played you saying you had your fingers on the pulse, and now you got your voice on the pulse.
That was a good one.
Yeah, well played.
Yeah, did you like that pun?
Yeah, no, it was very, very good. And in fact, if you're up for a co-hosting job, I think Rob's just about to leave.
You're more than welcome, Larissa, anytime you like.
So, back to you.
Would that be two blokes? The chicken and bloke then?
No, what we then do, we've had the occasional female co-host when Rob's away, and we call that two folks chatting.
Ah, very nice.
So,
good diversion.
Yeah, anyway, back to you.
Yeah, so I actually ended up getting on the phone with Linda, who's the founder of the Aussie Hay Runners, and it was like fireworks went off. I just got along with her like a house on fire.
Easy to do.
For nearly an hour, yeah.
She's a ripper.
Yep.
A ripper, yep.
Oh, and can I just throw in here, next week on a show called Chewing the Fat at 11 o'clock on Saturday morning, you'll never guess who my guest is.
There you go.
Linda from Aussie Hay Runners.
Oh, there you go.
That's how you and I got to talk to one another. I was talking to her about being on the show, and she said, you've got to talk to Larissa.
Yeah. So we had fireworks go off, and I was just like, yep, this lady is someone that I want to be involved in, and I just thought, how can I support? And I thought, I'll give $1,000 to the Aussie Hay Runners. I'll buy some hay. And I said, oh, Linda, how much hay will that get? She goes, oh, Dale, at this point, you're looking at 2 to 3 hay bales. I thought, that's not going to be helpful at all, is it? So I thought, what's the next best thing that I can do? Well, I can use my business as a way to educate people, create awareness for people, and hopefully raise some funds. So I started making hoodies. I'm selling them at the local Bellarine farm gate, which is direct public to farm, and reconnecting people back to the farmers and the foods that's produced. And so we're selling the hoodies and they're going off and people are loving it. And we thought, well, we need an event that this is leading up to. So I spoke to some local businesses that are in and around my business park, and everybody's jumping on board. We've got Bellarine Whole Foods, who's pledging 50% of their coffee sales for the day on October 19th. We've got singing, we've got music, we've got the Lions Club coming and cooking up some grass-fed, grass-finished sausages from the Otways. it's all happening. The local producers coming down, and everything is to raise funds and donate to the Aussie hay runners to get hay.
So have you got a sense from Linda, as much as possible, I guess, is the correct answer to this question, but do you have any sense of how much money she is short at the moment to buy hay?
Oh, well, I haven't actually asked that. What I do know is that hay bales are going for anywhere up to $300 to $500 for those big round ones.
Yep.
Speaking to one of the truck drivers the other day, I had a little chit-chat to him while I was on the M1 on the way back through Seymour, and they were joining up a convoy of 20 other trucks to go over Bairnsdale Way. And I asked him how much per K it actually costs to drive one of those trucks. So if for us to hire a truck to cart anything, we're looking at about $6 a kilometre. Now these guys drive up to, that particular driver had been up to the border of New South Wales to collect hay, New South Wales to Queensland, sorry, to collect hay, and then he drove back that same day. I spoke to him in the afternoon and he was already back in Seymour. And so he'd covered well over 1,000 Ks.
Now, I'm doing some mathematics on that. That's about $6,000.
I hope that fits his logbook brief on that. You might have just chucked him under the bus, Larissa.
No, he had a person in the truck that they were swapping seats.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, well done.
Yeah.
No, he stayed the night on the border.
Oh, there you go.
And I spoke to him in the morning. And so you just think about how much fuel costs, how much it costs to have that driver driving the truck, and then the hay that's actually going on the truck.
Yep.
Without the New South Wales Rural Assistance Authority subsidising some of those Ks, they wouldn't be able to do what they're doing. So he was very, very thankful for that authority and the assistance and the support of Aussie hay runners. But we don't have anything like that in Victoria.
Because I think that the other thing too, I think we have, I'm just going to get political from a premier that doesn't realise there's a place called regional Australia. I suspect that's half the problem. But anyway, did I say that out loud? I didn't mean to, sorry.
You just hit the nail on the head. You might have hit a nail.
I'd just like to not defend this person because I agree with what you're saying, but she has copped a fair, unfair whack because I can guarantee there'd be 95% of politicians in this country who are exactly the same. She, unfortunately, is leading a group that just made a very dumb decision that makes it look worse. But trust me, there are people that are called the National Party that used to be called the Farmers' Party. Couldn't give a stuff about the farmers. So
they were called the Country Party, I think.
Let's get the political smearing. Let's spread it across properly. Now we can move on. Thank you very much.
I think I might have just touched a nerve there.
Yes, you did.
But I think the issue that Linda was telling me about previously was typically if Victoria's in drought, Queensland's typically not, or vice versa. So there's an opportunity. Supply and demand is obviously a major question. But of course, there's been a little bit of rain in Queensland, which has made it really hard to harvest hay. So it's not just the fact that it's been raining. It's been raining so hard you can't get hay from up there, which is obviously why the price of hay is so expensive.
Yes, and we've got flood, then drought, then flood, then drought, and rain but no sun, sun but no rain. And so, the hay yield, according to Linda, this is what she said to me, is that the hay yield last year was 25% of what we usually get. So not only are we low on the actual grass in the paddocks growing for the farmers, but we're also low on their reserves now because as a good farmer, you would be like, yep, I'm always keep 2 years of reserves on my property or 3 years or whatever their plan is. They all have a plan, but unfortunately those reserves haven't been refilled, so they're getting to the end of their reserves now and the grass isn't growing on there.
That in essence is the biggest problem in agriculture. Things take a long time to move, so people think, it's raining, everything's right, but it doesn't rain grass. So that's going to take a month or 6 weeks to turn into grass. And the problem we've got is that there's no reserves of hay left in the state of Victoria at all. And if we don't have a really, really good old-fashioned bumper spring to allow those reserves to get filled up, this problem that we've got now will be tenfold next year.
That's right. And so as I said, I consult people on nutrition all the time, and my priority is people getting their nutrition from whole foods before supplementing and adding in things like that. So when I'm telling people to get nutritious food and get this and get that, and then the prices are just going up and up and up and up, and people start going, it's inflation, like it's just wiping it off. as this ambiguous thing, because who really, everyday people, understand what inflation means? It just tells you that prices of everything's going up. But we don't actually understand the drivers behind it. But this is one that we can wrap our heads around as a community. Our farmers need help, and we can rustle up as a community. You mentioned politics before. We can't rely on politicians. We need to ground level, boots on the ground, rally together as people and support our communities together. And this is why the theme of the whole thing is families to farm gates. We need to get those families back in touch with the farmers. We've got farmers coming down on the day to talk about their growing practices, how they keep their land sustainable and how they keep their farming sustainable, because a lot of people don't know and they rely on the media to tell them rather than being connected themselves. So that's sort of my angle about it.
Yeah, well, good news is tomorrow is going to be a sunny day, so you'll be able to make some hay while the sun shines. So that's good. You'll have some hay on Monday morning, obviously.
Yeah.
If only that's the way it works, Larissa.
But I've heard it. Make hay while the sun shines. Isn't that the saying?
That is the saying.
That's right.
Yeah.
Larissa, before I forget to do it, if you're available on a Wednesday, you should come and talk more at length about this to another audience on another day to promote this wonderful idea. But you've got the idea in your head, so what's next step of actually turning it into something really practical, sustainable and, helpful? And
so just so you're about to answer the question again, you stepped out and there's an event coming up. So
oh no, that's all right to have the event. Okay. But what do we do from that? What's you just have an event? Do you walk away and think, oh, that'll solve the problem? But what are we going to do from this? It's a sustainable change to the way maybe as simplistic as city folk look at their country friends.
Yeah, that's basically it. And I have come from the city to the Bellarine Peninsula, so a lot of my following is still in Melbourne. So I acknowledged that, and when I was talking to Linda, I said this is an opportunity for me to be posting so much stuff onto socials that is actually reaching my contacts in Melbourne more so than the Geelong Bellarine area.
Yep.
Because I've only been in this area for a couple of years now. So I'm in a position to be able to reach more city folk. I've been talking to my clients who are in the city about this matter, and none of them have any idea. They go, oh, I did notice that the milk prices were going up. And one lady said to me this morning, oh, I did notice that the milk was not as much on the shelves at the supermarket, and the viscosity was less. She bought full fat milk. And I said, yeah, because the cows are low nutrition at the moment. It has an effect on the end product, and it has an effect on the end purchaser or consumer's pocket as well, because we start to get supply and demand issues. So I think in one plain answer is cut out the middlemen and get back to the farm gates. And there's lots of delivery methods from farm gates direct back to the city folk now. We can look at things like Farmers Pick. We can look at things like Sears Organics who deliver to your door. That's what we did when we were in the city, as much as possible.
And well done on bringing a technical word of like viscosity, and I think that's the most technical word we've had in the 262 programs. Well done, you. It's great to have scientists on this program because
we need more of them.
Yeah, no, see, you and Rob are talking farm, you and I can talk science, because that's where we come from. Yeah. So this event, because we do need to get people coming down and participating in the event. When you told me about it, I thought, yeah, we need to know about this. It's in part entertainment in so much as getting out of Melbourne and getting down here and having a look around and, seeing things, but also about education?
Yes, that's right. We're going to have Linda there and a few of the farmers also there. And we've also got the Hayfield, well, I don't think it's the Hayfield Lions Club, but the Lions Club will be there as well to discuss their role in the support of Aussie hay runners.
Hayfield is a really great little town near Portland, and they are such a high level. I'm a member of their local footy club down there, and it's just a great little community. So great to have them on board.
Yes, absolutely. They're a real force to reckon with, those guys over in Hayfield.
I've gone Hayfield rather than Haywood. Yes, I got those two confused. Hayfield near Maffra.
Hayfield's in Gippsland.
Yeah. Sorry,
that's
mistake.
Interesting. I was involved in an event recently about trying to put on an event, and we got some people from a Lions Club in South Australia who run a very, very successful event in an agricultural field day. And it's fantastic to get people from a different area, different region, to come and talk about their experiences. And while there may be subtle differences in how you do it, that the overall concept of what you're trying to achieve is very, very similar. And I find those outside voices can be really, really helpful in this situation.
Helps them sow the idea.
It does indeed.
See what I did there? Little farmer's comment.
So, Larissa, the important change of changing direction of society, it's got to be grassroots, but at the upper end there also needs to be some other changes, because corporate Australia has changed and they monopolise buying from farms and supplying the public. Breaking that chain a little bit, have you sort of stopped and thought yourself about how we can make some subtle changes to the way people, well, their purchasing habits?
Yeah, like I was saying about getting people just get deliveries from the online places like Sears Organics. And
sometimes they're a little more expensive though, and at a time where cost of living is a major issue, not everyone can actually make the changes they really need to be buying at the bottom end of the market. To maybe even some of the farmers have to look at the way they market and look at changing some things in that aspect as well.
Yeah, and buying direct from the farm gate makes things a lot cheaper too, because you don't have that middleman that's trying to make their slice. Like at the Ballerine farm gate here, you look at the limes that are available here and they're sold for cents, and then you go to Woolies and look at the same thing and it's $1.70.
Yep. And some of the other issues, fruit and veg is probably easy, and some other farm produce, but milk in particular and meat, you've got health regulations that you need to obviously abide by, which somewhat is restrictive to have that farm gate type selling. Is that another thing that you've looked at the possibility of?
Yeah, and that's actually something really interesting that I've been keeping an eye on and intend to look into further. So I'm not by no means an expert, but the Victorian government has allowed the petition, passed the petition through, of micro abattoirs. So it's going to allow those farmers to actually reduce their costs a bit and take a bit more control over that production. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens there on the prices and the availability of higher quality stuff from our farms in Victoria. It hasn't happened in any other state, which is very interesting. So it's that cutting down those kilometres that the food travels, and sometimes I find like I'll get good bargains. One place will have really good costings for a couple of items, and then other items are more expensive. It's just how diligent you want to be in maybe going to 3 locations rather than just one location.
Yeah, and out in this part of the world, they're not next to one another like they are in a strip shopping centre. You've got to actually drive around a bit, which again costs fuel and time and all that sort of stuff.
And of course, your mother and myself would have drank litres and litres of milk literally straight from the cow, but of course those regulations around pasteurisation and other stuff suggest that it's not easy to do that in the marketplace. So that's another thing that needs to be looked at, getting around to maybe change what is now a sort of multinational milk supply, which is a bit of a difficult thing.
Well, now it's a highly processed method, isn't it? And there's a lot of big factories required for it and so on. Depends on how far you want to get from the natural product.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, I'm just looking at Rob, and I would be recommending my very soon to arrive second grandchild doesn't drink milk straight from the cow.
Please do. It's
no,
good.
No, but I don't want him or her to end up looking like you. To be fair, you've got
all right. Your mum looks all right, doesn't she, Larissa? She would have drank litres of it.
Now, we have 2 questions for you before we let you go. The first one is from Steve at Bamborough, who's one of our regular listeners. He wants to know what the breed of the barking dog is.
The barking dog?
There was a dog barking behind you at the start.
Oh, yeah.
Not the pub in Geelong West. It's not called that anymore.
It looked like a Bitzer. It was quite a large dog.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, there you go, Steve. You got your answer. Second thing, beyond the event that you are talking about, the Spring Fling for Farmers, and thanks for doing that for us, calling it that. When, where, how, why, cost, etc.
Well, it's just come on down. There's no cost associated to people coming down unless they want to purchase a sausage or a coffee from this participating businesses. It's just really to have a big awareness campaign, people to come down, picnic on the grass and get their families reconnected to the food they're eating.
What day did you say?
October the 19th, it's a Sunday in Drysdale on Murraduk Road.
Okay, so it won't be hard to find you.
No, you'll just drive along, you'll see Moles Galore flags, you'll see Healthy Society, you'll see people on the grass, Ballerine Whole Foods, it'll be fabulous.
Excellent.
Larissa, I will be in touch with you because I now have your phone number, and I'd love you to join us on other formats on this station to continue to promote this really, really good cause.
Love to.
And make sure you're listening at 11 o'clock next Saturday morning for my chat with Linda.
Oh, yes. Can't wait.
Me too. There'll be grouse.
Yeah, we'll be grouse. She is, she's a ripper.
Larissa Watt, thank you for what you, no pun intended, what you're doing for us and for the farmers of Victoria and beyond. It's a ripper, and we're so pleased you could join us.
Thank you very much, gentlemen.
I'm going to have my first crack at this. Spring Fling for farmers. There, got it out.
No, we're
trouble.
both sober then. Thanks, Larissa. Chat soon.
Best wishes.
See ya.